We attended the march yesterday along with hundreds of other Minnesotans from the Government Plaza in downtown to the 1st Precinct. Now, this was a march in solidarity with Jacob Blake, the young man who was shot in Wisconsin over the weekend. Once we arrived at the 1st Precinct, we heard from other speakers talk about their experiences with law enforcement, as well as the families of other people who had lost their relatives due to police brutality. Now, one person did use the cover of the crowd to graffiti on the 1st Precinct, and that person was quickly stopped by organizers of the march, who said this is not the behavior we're trying to show, and it reflects poorly on leadership. Once the march returned to the Government Plaza where it began, there was more tension as an unidentified man came up and snatched the flag out of one of the protesters' hands. This led to security apprehending the young man and him being chased away by other protesters. It was right as that situation was reaching its resolution that rumors spread that other demonstrators had been apprehended aggressively by the MPD. At that point, a small group of about 10 or so people formed and marched to the 1st Precinct. After a brief dialogue with the MPD officer there, the group decided to march all the way over to the Hennepin County Public Safety Facility, which is where these protesters were being held. This led to hundreds of people showing up. Eventually, a small group turned into about a crowd of about 100 as people brought projectors and music, and it had a really light atmosphere to it, honestly. And that continued that way for quite some time until about midnight or so, when one person threw a brick or something of that sort, some kind of stone object, through the glass door, which led to the sheriffs inside the building to come storming out with tear gas and pepper bullets, and they succeeded in pushing the protest back about a block or two away. But after they pushed people back, eventually people came back, and that's what led to a second charge from the MPD where they made quite aggressive arrests, as you'll see in our video here, by tackling people and pushing people further away. Now, there are more events coming up this week, so stay tuned to Neighborhood Reporter for more.